Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the ECC. We are here for our second series of the day. And to remind you what the second series is, we have Ascension Draco versus Huenke here. And of course, I lied to you guys. Mikey's not here to join me. He says Max back again. He's about as annoyed as I am that we can't eat dinner. And we're instead casting Rocket League. What a treat. But yeah, Max, welcome back to you. We had a pretty great series of Rise Esports against Ash Rattlers before. Now, we've got what's going to be another banger. I think we get to see Dennis play, if I'm not mistaken. So this is going to be great, isn't it?
Yeah, this is definitely going to be great. I just want to say very quickly, fuck you, Mikey, you fucking cunt.
Fuck's sake.
Because I was planning on eating dinner now, and I can't. But yeah, we're definitely going to have like another, I think, pretty good Div 2 match here. Obviously, Ascension and Draco. Well known from last season where they were just Draco. They were still in the trial phase with Ascension as far as I'm aware. So now under the Ascension roster, so I expect the chat to be again very biased towards them against Huenke, and they have been promoted from Division 3 from last season. So two returning teams. Always lovely to see many teams returning, facing off against one another. And I think it's top seed versus the bottom seed in the division, with Draco being the top seed. But as we've seen earlier, overconfidence can cost you a game, and if you don't get on top of that, it may cost you a series.
Yeah, we talked about Rise Esports last series where, they got a bit cocky and said to say they dropped the game because of it. But they got it back and, they managed to win the series. So, yeah, both the teams learn lessons from them. Don't make the same mistake because, yes, it could cost you a series, not just a game. So, quick run of the rosters before we get into our predictions. On Ascension Draco, we'll have Dennis, Itzcast, Exonic, and then Music MBG as our sub. And then I'll quickly check Huenke using a fantastic spreadsheet. We have Yusai, Dolol, and Jan. That's some really weird names, but they're German, so yeah, I'm not too shocked about that. So, two great lineups here. One for Germany, one's again mixed European, I think. Mostly Dutch, actually. Got one British guy there as well. So, yeah, basically it's UK versus Germany here in this matchup. So, predictions here for... I lied. It's the Netherlands versus Germany, sorry. But anyways, we're going to keep on going here. Predictions, Mac. Who have you got? Ascension Draco or Huenke?
I mean, you said it before, and in last matchup, I went for nationality over ECC camaraderie. I think this game, I'm going to reverse it, though. I'm going to go for Draco, mainly because I'm scared Dennis will ban me if I don't. But
all right.
Yeah. I think Draco are the strongest side in this game. Huenke, they've just promoted, and we've seen yesterday, I believe it was, with the Storm that just promoted into the Champions Division, that being a newly promoted team can be very rough for you. So I think that Draco are going to take this one, and I'm guessing a 3-1 again. Last time didn't fail me last time, and I hope as well it won't fail me here.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I'm going to do instead is, instead of going for the opposite, I'll agree with you. Especially I don't want to do that. I'll go with Ascension Draco. Not because I fear Dennis will ban me, because, let's face it, he can't. But, I do think this Draco side, yeah, they'd be pretty strong. Some experienced players on there. Huenke being new to Division 2, I feel like this first match is going to be pretty nervy for them. So, I'll take Draco. And I think I'll go for the sweep, actually. I think 3-0 will be the scoreline in this game. But both the teams are ready to go. So, we will just send them on their way for our second match of the night. Again, Division 2 Conference 1 here. Ascension Draco and Huenke are going to face off here as we are about to kick off with game number 1 here. Off the kickoff, we're seeing Yusai trying to push this into the half already, and Ramon's going to try get it into the box. Now Dennis going to take it out. He goes for another touch but can't reach it. Dolol now is going to send it down the field. Cass having to make a high save. Dennis turning onto this. Ramon's going to try to take a long shot wide the net. Exonic, this one is high. Dolol can't reach it. Yusai's going to have to back him up. Here is now Exonic. A bit of trouble on the wall there. It now goes into the half of Ascension Draco. And Dennis up there again. Going to try force a dunk. Exonic also coming in from underneath. Cass again having to make a save. And with 40 seconds gone, it is currently mostly pressure here for the Huenke. As the shot goes on net, ECC8 though will boom it away again.
Yeah, Huenke just coming out of the gate really, really strongly, really aggressively pushing, especially Ramond and Yusei just being a pain in the eyes of in the eyes of Ascension Draco here. But now, for the first time, a bit of relief as Cass puts it behind the goalie, and Dennis is there to capitalize off of it in his absolutely hideous Burnt Sienna Fennec. But that color doesn't make his goal any less good, and Cass with a great assist as well to really, against the line of play, put Ascension Draco 1-0 up.
Yeah, exactly. They've been under a lot of pressure, but as soon as they break out onto attack, you know, Cass gets a fantastic touch to bait in the defender, who was sitting front post, by the way, and Dennis with the cleanup. But you mentioned his car design. Dennis, that looks absolutely horrific. Please change that right now, honestly. You know, I have many words to describe that, but, you know, family-friendly stream, so I can't. But nevertheless, you know, the car design didn't hinder him. He got his first goal, and it was an absolute banger. So, with a minute and a half gone now, 1-0 for Ascension Draco. We're seeing Yusei now. Here's how to take it into the side. ECC8 can't reach it now. Cass, who's been pretty solid defense so far, will probably call it to action. He can't make the save, but Dennis does come through to help him. And then here comes Dennis once more. Take us for a dribble. He's trying to force a 50-50. It goes high as now Cass really quick up to it. He does force it down into the box. Ramen are going to try to take it. ECC8 can't make the read. Dennis following it up though. Now putting it onto the bar. No fault just yet. Dennis going to keep on going for this and will force a bump. And now it will result in a turnover of possession here, resulting in a Huenke attack. But that shot was too weak. I don't even think it was going to be a shot. I think he tried to control it. So Huenke with Dolos clear. This is going to result in Ascension Draco getting it again. But Ramen with an aggressive push and another touch high. Someone's going to be up for this. It will be Yusei, but he just sends it into the corner. And now Dennis will put it back down the field. Ramen's now going to try get another chance going. But with halfway through here, still 1-0 here for Ascension Draco. But we do see Huenke are knocking on that door. And maybe it's about time they tie us up here.
And, but what I've realized from both teams here is that whenever there's a semi-hard shot against the wall, that both teams struggle to make the read from the ground if they're not already on it. So that's definitely something that can be capitalized off of if it happens so often now, that maybe if you try to expect the whiff, you can keep up the pressures. There's a great demo coming up from ECC8 on Yusei to get rid of the third man, but to no avail just yet. The pressure is still on with Huenke. Dolol just way too far back, just miraculously gets a dunk there that shouldn't have been able to, and Huenke stay in the offense. Now they have to try and boost starve it, but that touch is not helping them one bit. Yusei forcing the 50 with Dennis. Dolol is up quickly. ECC8 is in net, has all the time in his world, and Cass to help him as well. Ramond, again, just neither a shot nor a pass, really. But Huenke's doing really well. They have the midfield presence. They have the necessary boost to just try and prolong their pressure. But they can't do anything against that one from ECC8. Has the delayed flip from the ceiling and uses it brilliantly to just juke out the Huenke defender.
Yeah, absolutely. You can tell the defender there was not expecting that kind of touch. He does result in putting it into his own top corner. So very well done for ECC8. He found the space and he made the most of it. As now they lead by 2. Cass attempting that flip reset, but he has not the greatest recovery ever. In fact, it was pretty shoddy. As now Dennis with a 50 goes straight into the sidewall. Ramen up for it, can't get it, and it gives Cass a free boom down the field. Now Yusei dropping it again. Cass can put it onto the back wall. Dolol out to the wing where he's got Yusei again, but that touch having a lot of height, but not enough forward momentum there. As now we see Ramen coming in once more into the corner. Cass are going to pick this up. He has a little bit of time to work with. Dolol though does read his touch. Now ECC8 going to try to get to it again. Yusei up for it. Dennis now dropping it to the side, but that's not the best touch ever. He gets a free shot here potentially. Dolol puts it into the back post behind Dennis, and Huenke with 30 seconds to go bring one back.
Yeah, and finally the pressure pays off. Ramon just puts it over Cass, and then Dolol really good against the momentum of Dennis, puts it behind him. Dennis probably pushing up a bit too much in that net, even if you're expecting the shot to the far post. Then with the positioning that Dolol was coming from, there was never going to be that much power on it. But great recognition anyway from Dolo and a good shot to keep it close with 2-1 and 20 seconds to go. Dennis has the read here. Does he have the second one? No, Yusei is there. Blocked by Cass. Where's the third man? Dolo is up. Puts against the backboard. Exonic sees Dennis in a lot of space and uses him as well. Gets it back. The 1-2-3-4 play. It's going very well for them. And now it's rule 1 time for Huenke. They have to keep it up, but it drops against the sidewall, and game 1 goes to Ascension Draco.
Yeah, very well deserved for them. It was a pretty solid game overall from all 3 of them putting in a good effort. And, the shots were, 5-4, so it was pretty close in that regard. But as Ascension Draco were able to close this one out. Huenke had that late effort, but it simply wasn't enough for them. So, yeah, Ascension Draco really just want to keep doing what they're doing. They're playing very solid overall, getting some really solid clears. The Division 2, those can work really well. You can get those long booming clears down the field and follow them up, more importantly. I think Draco does that better than a lot of Division 2 sides, actually. So that can play in their favor. They're able to relieve pressure, pretty consistently. And, along with stringing together some good offensive plays that can really help them a lot. So, yeah, Draco looking solid so far in this series, and they can surely carry that through, in the remaining games.
Yeah, and they have done that. But what I think the main difference is in this series is right now that although Huenke had the majority of the pressure, there weren't really that many chances to come out of it. So that's maybe where there's one thing. They have the pressure and they have the position, but now they need to get it together and get the rotation more into get yourself more into that shooting positions that will make you able to score, because the Draco seem to be not panicking at all in defense. Unlike Astra Atlas that we've seen last series, this is completely different. These are 2 teams that are closely matched, I'd say, and it's not like we have one clear dominating team here.
Yeah, that is the case, really. As good as Draco playing, Huenke, despite being a former Div 3 side, they are stepping up to the plate at least, and they are going for another chance here, but Cass has been very solid in the defense so far, called in to make another save. And now this one going wide. Dennis with no boost to work with. Now going to try force a 50-50, which is the right thing to do. It gives it over to Exonic, but he just drops it in for Raman. Now Cass will have to get it again. Now Yusei, not the best touch. Exonic going to get it out to Cass again. Instead he'll just follow it up himself, actually. Now a one-on-one situation, but can't connect on the ball there to put a shot in. As now Cass going to pop it high. Again, he's got Dennis on the midfield to work with. Dennis, though, not pushing up early enough to meet it. So Exonic back on it again. With this opening minute coming and going, is Huenke again with a lot of that early pressure, but Ascension Draco denying them any solid chances at the moment.
Yeah, the pressure's there, but only 1 shot coming out of good 45 seconds of pressure. That's just not enough at this point. They are doing the right things. They're rotating really aggressively, and now Yusei taking it slow for once, but gets it behind Cass. But Exonic is brilliantly positioned himself on the backboard, and that's quite a screamer here from Dolo. But Cass again, the defensive masterclass coming out from him is really helpful for Draco, as the pressure keeps mounting from Huenke.
Exactly. I mentioned earlier, Cass has been, brilliant on defense. It really has been a key factor in, Ascension's success right now. And he's been able to keep out a lot of these shots coming in from Huenke whenever they do manage to find one. As now, Dennis is going to try to get into the field, and here comes Cass. He's going to go for center here. Exonic, as a third man, he really needs to commit for this, which he does. And, had he waited a bit too long there, it could have resulted in a goal easily for Huenke there. As now Cass going to push it out again. Dolo going to try to get it, but good from Cass to slow down the ball. But there is a Dennis, not the best touch he wants to be getting, but Exonic will surely have that clear again. And now looking for a counter attack. No one really getting onto this ball. Dennis is late too. That Cass now going to try to get onto it. Bates in Ramons. The ball goes across net. And with half the minute gone, Ascension Draco, yes, they're holding on to that defense, but they really need to be starting to find more time in the attack. Otherwise, Huenke will eventually manage to break through given time.
Yeah, and that's what's worrying me as well. Right now, Draco show very, very good proficiency in defense, and the communication seems to be very good for them as well. But just there's not really any offensive presence from them, as there's a absolutely weird touch coming out from Cass that nearly got in. Yusei was up for it though. he was well positioned and saw that one coming towards him. Good reaction as well, because that one came pretty much out of nowhere. And now Dennis trying to alleviate some of that pressure with the demo that comes out of him. And yeah, this is the situation that Huenke has seen themselves so many times. The ball is in the Ascension half, but Ascension actually seem to be very confident with it and seem to have the presence of mind to know to take it slowly and to take it comfortably and take a measured approach to it. As now finally all three are bumped out of net or somehow indisposed of, and no Huenke player is there to capitalize off of that one.
Yeah, they are not. I was thinking that was to be a potential breakaway chance there, but it did not amount to anything. As now it is back in the Huenke half. Ascension Draco trying to get something. That's a good demo from Cass, and it could result in something. Dennis will pass it back over to Exonic, but he is bumped, and so it will be put back into the Ascension Draco side. So Cass going to try to take his time again, puts it out. Ramen with a shot. Exonic has to get to that. He will do so, but he's got Dolol pressuring him now. He will manage to land another touch on it, and now looking to push this one down the field. Dennis having the chance to go up for this, but again, he's a bit hesitant on that. He is the second man. He can commit for it in that situation. As now we push back down again. Exonic will push it forward once more. Ramen going to try to get a touch, but excellent move from Exonic. This could be a chance here as two defenders going up there. Cast out for the dribble. He will try to get it past two defenders. Again, committing. Exonic now ends the box. It's a really slow shot. Dennis could get to it though, but Ramen diving across here. And it seems to be the timid playstyle of Ascension Draco. They're not used to these attacking chances. And really, they know they need to be quicker on them because they had the perfect chance to score in that situation.
Yeah, and especially Cass, who made way with like 3 consecutive bumps there to just get rid of the person that was on back post. So that was a really prime opportunity for once in the game, but now 0 seconds. Yusei tries to keep it up, and then Ramond coming in, but the shot is not off the ground, and we head into overtime of game 2. A game which, to be honest, didn't see the greatest show of offensive presence. So we could realistically see a long overtime, but scratch that one. Dennis will show you how it's done with this great flip reset here.
Yeah, I think Dennis has grew a pair. Like, he's not been doing anything on offense. He's been so hesitant, and he comes out with that. All right then, Dennis. He just gets that flip reset. Beautiful finish. That was impeccable from him, and what a way to close out the game. A game where Ascension Draco lacked that pressure on offense, and finally with a display of mechanical skill from Dennis, just be very quiet in that game. He shows up big and gets the victory for Ascension Draco to put them 2-0 up backed. I mean, that, if you talk about against run of play, that's got to be the definition of it right there. But Ascension Draco, I think they'll be really happy that they managed to get the win out of that.
Yeah, like you said, just completely against the run of play, and that could be very demoralizing for Huenke because they have been doing quite well. I think actually Yusei just backflipped there on his way to challenge Dennis, which gave him the time to go for their flip reset. So that is extra unfortunate there, and that just happens, and you have to get over it at this point because they are playing really, really well. They have the pressure, and now it's just putting the final piece of the puzzle together and creating those dangerous shooting opportunities, because those really haven't come up. Like, we didn't really have a lot of dangerous opportunities where someone had to dive across the net from Draco to manage and get to it. So maybe for Huenke, just incorporate some of those exit demos that we talk about a lot in the higher divisions. Just when your first man rotates out of it and goes to steal the opponent's boost, just try and hunt one defender down, preferably the second or the third, so that they can't come in to make a challenge, and you give yourself a bit more time on the attack and give yourself a bit more of the goal to shoot at.
Yeah, exactly. So going to game 3, Ascension Draco just need to find one more, and they will have the series win here. As the ball is in the opposing half to begin with for them, and now Exonic going up for this, going for that solo play. Ramen, a good read though. So Cash is going to take us into the corner. He's got Dennis to work with in this midfield. Has saved his flip over to Dennis, and there we have it. Ascension Draco get themselves the first goal very early on, with quite the play coming out between Cass and Dennis.
Yeah, and I see Yusei was a bit hesitant. It was really good that the camera was on him. He was really a bit hesitant on the goal line. They didn't really know, should I challenge, should I not challenge? And as soon as you're hesitant, Cass and Dennis will make you pay for it. And that really goes for any division of the ECC. Once you have to make a decision, just have to go for it, stick it. As Exonic tries something incredibly fancy. A lot would have been proud of that redirect and that angle, but he just hits the crossbar, and Huenke survived with that 1-0 lead, still in favor of Draco.
Yeah, it was very good for Dennis. It was a really risky play there from Draco on attack, but Dennis held his nerve in defense. Very well done from him. Again, is now Exonic's going to take this up again. Ramen very patient on the backboard and takes out Exonic. Dennis now into Cass, and he will find a shot again. These two are just linking up. Go perfectly here on the attack here, as that was perfectly read from Dennis. Saw where that ball was going, and Ramen really could not get that one off the recovery.
Now, you say a bit slow to the read. Cass just... That's the good thing when you're being an attacker. You can see the play unfolding before you or in front of you, rather than having to navigate a bit of an awkward camera transition from ball cam to player cam to ball cam again to judge where the ball is and where the opponent is. So, and that's Yusei just being a bit too slow on that one, and the Dutch duo of Cass and Dennis just really putting the pressure on the Huenke defense, something that hasn't happened in the past 2 games. So it's interesting to see, obviously, Draco making some adjustments between the previous games and they're really paying off. They're being much more aggressive. They have much more midfield presence, and thus they can hold the ball in the Huenke half for a lot longer.
Yes, exactly. So, that's something that we have to keep an eye out for here as the games go on. With 2 minutes gone, Draco leading by 2 here. Huenke have a lot to do here as we see Cass going up once again. You can tell Draco, they've stepped up completely. The last game they were just stuck in their defense the whole time. Were really timid when it came to the attack, but now they have found that confidence, and it is really working wonders for them as our Cass finds himself with a better time in his defense. Yusei with a good challenge though. It lands to Exonic though as he puts it down the field. Now Cass up again, good speed, drops it into Dennis, but Yusei dives across to get to it. As now Yusei has a chance to make a solo play, tries a musty flick into it, but he was not able to get that one onto the net as around with another shot. Exonic off the backboard. Here comes Exonic again. He's got Dennis to work with in the infield, who's just coming in now. Gets it over one, but he will just have to carry it into the corner. And now he's surely going to go for this again. Doll a bit hesitant, but he is just waiting for something to happen there. As there Exonic diving in again. Cass going to try to get that demo, but the boost maybe slowing from him. He's going to try to delay for Dennis. He will be on the defense and will surely have this, but that touch isn't the best. Doll, though, can't get on target. Now Yusei with another shooting chance, and Draco will be able to take this one away.
Yeah, and it's pretty much a role reversal from what we've seen in the previous season, previous games. That now Huenke's being just forced on defense all the time and are really rarely able to break out. And the one chance they had there, Yusei just tried to be a bit too fancy. Sometimes simplicity really is the better option to go for. Just trying to musty into the ball from the sidewall. I mean, if you can do that consistently, then yeah, go for it. But I don't think that's, if you have so few chances in a game, I don't think that's the correct way to go about going and creating offensive pressure.
Yeah, I would wholeheartedly agree with that statement, actually. I think a lot of people, when they have limited chances, they just try something that's, is a high-risk, low-reward play, is what I like to call it. But really, something that is going to work more often. So, like playing the numbers almost, really, and knowing, what's the chance of this working out. And really, a simplistic play is more likely to work out as something fancy in most cases. And so that's something that you really need to look into the Huenke side. But you got 40 seconds, so you really need to find something. But Ascension Draco playing a very solid game of Rocket League at the moment. But that one could maybe cost them, as that one's going to go straight to the net off that 50-50. And this is like game 1 vibes. They get that late goal here, and with 30 seconds to go, Huenke's trying to work their way back in it.
Yeah, now it was Cass there. It was trying to musty flick into Exonic, who was on the backboard expecting a touch there. And that's, again, just a high risk to play. But if it works, it's a great clip. But you don't want to be clipping in when it's your opportunity to get a sweep, because now Huenke are back in it. And 1 goal at 0 seconds is now on the table. So technically they have infinite time left to score that 1 goal, as long as they can keep it in the air. So that is really difficult for Draco now. They have to be very, very careful not to do any more stupid mistakes like that one.
Yes, indeed, as the clock is running down, Raman's going to try to get down the field, but he misses his touch. Now, Exonic has a chance to close it out. He will take this for an air dribble, and that is quite the way to close it out. 1 second left. That's not going to be enough time to get 2 goals, and that will be Ascension Draco with the series win. And you got to say that is a pretty fancy play to put this nail in the coffin for this one.
Pretty fancy Admiral, but especially pretty much, although he didn't get credit for it at all by the game, just played on by Cass, who was just bullying Dolo at the back post there and just taking away not only his boost, but like any good positioning he had, and jumping in as well to throw him off. So that was just pretty much all Cass's goal. Exonic with a great air drag. But yeah, that was really, really strong showing from Draco to get the win over Huenke in the sweep, no less. So this time, your prediction, you're feeling quite confident now with that prediction, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I had faith in the Draco lads to do that, and they actually managed to do it. And, you know, they convinced me. They are a team to look out for in Division 2. And I must say, you know, their style of play, you know, it wasn't the most consistent at times. You know, there were times where they were playing very aggressive and, you know, not much else. But really, when Draco just go on attack all the time and don't sit in defense all the time, it works perfectly. Because the defense for Division 2 standards is absolutely amazing. Actually, it's probably some of the best defense I've seen in Division 2. And then when they finally attack with pressure, they just box in teams. And so, you know, there is stuff to work for Draco, but it's a great performance. As for Huenke, you know, they were able in that second game to get some offensive plays going, and they kept the games close overall. But in the end, he just couldn't finish their chances in the end. And it could be down to that defense of Draco, yes, but they maybe need a bit more utility in that attack to bring them more chances in the end.
Yeah, but I think it's good. The way they lost is a very valuable. It's a very valuable loss. Like, even although they lost 3-0, it was a lot closer than that from the series, and B, they have a very clear path on what to do better for the next series. So especially the positive to take away is that they could create those pressure situations. They could create like 3 minutes, 4 minutes of constant pressure on a very, very good Div 2 side. So if they now just need to work on getting themselves in the shooting opportunities, having the second person be mid, ready to receive a pass, and just getting in those very minute details of how to actually break down the defense that is as solid as Draco. And as for Draco, I mean, they've done what they needed to do. They've showed up, not very convincingly, but just overall very calm and collected, and just got the win. And that's, at the end of the day, that's what you have to do in Div 2. Just get the win, get to playoffs, and then that's the time when it matters, really.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, yeah, Draco just doing what they had to do there. So, yes, you said for Huenke, there is a clear path to what they can improve on. This is a great learning experience, especially when you keep it close with a strong side like Draco. Whereas with Draco, you know, they do have stuff to learn. They can take it through. They're a playoff contender team after all, and I'm sure they can make it there if they keep improving the rate. So very well played for both the teams, though. I don't think 3-0 doesn't describe how close the games were in the end, but that's the way it happens. So we will now have to hop to a pretty long break. You know, you can thank the teams for making it a quick one there. Up next, we will have Emoji Charlie and Ascension Helios. So the Ascension org will be staying on your screen for the next one. And we'll be back in about 30 minutes-ish for our next game. So, of course, come back around that time, and we will see you then. But for now, we'll be having a break. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back very soon.